The ongoing war in Ukraine is the worst, the cruelest, the most unthinkable thing happening to our generation. It is affecting, and it will affect even more, our generation and probably the generation after us. Europe did not know such a war for over 70 years. 2 or 3 European generations did not experience bombardments, mass shootings, rapes. They did not have to hide in shelters, did not have to walk in the streets among the dead bodies. It's a completely new experience, a horrible experience for this generation. Especially for the Ukrainians who leave their homes in masses as internally displaced people or as refugees. Their homes are either destroyed or occupied by the Russian aggressors. They just come in, they leave, live there, stay there, they kill those who stayed there before them, rape them, and they perform all sorts of atrocities that we know about the World War II. Under the pretension of fighting Nazism, they actually act as Nazis. The worst thing about it is that act sometimes in the name of religion, the tradition that we keep dear to us, our Orthodox tradition, and they kill the people who belong to the same tradition, the same tradition of Orthodoxy, because the majority of the Ukrainians, including those Ukrainians whom they kill, whom they expel from their homes, they belong to the same tradition. Maybe in the past they communed from the same chalice. Maybe in the past they sang in the same choirs, they stood in the same churches, and now they kill those people who belong to the same tradition. This casts a very long shadow on the entire tradition, at least in the eyes of the external observers, in the eyes of the media, in the eyes of those who look at what is happening in Ukraine with horror. They understand that the Church, the Russian Orthodox Church, has supported publicly this war, has endorsed this war, and has actually supplied this war with the ideological framework. However, does it mean that the entire Orthodoxy needs to be blamed for that? Do we have to bear the stigma of being complicit with the war? All of us, the Orthodox. No, this is not going to happen. And because this is not true, our Orthodoxy has nothing to do with this war. The church figures, the ideologies of the war, they distort this tradition. They completely change it upside down. We would call, from the perspective of our tradition, that their take on our tradition is heretical. It's unorthodox, even though it is proclaimed in the name of Orthodoxy. What can we do as Orthodox Christians to distance ourselves from being involved in this war on the side of those who support it? First of all, we need not to keep silent. We need to speak up. We need to make it very, very clear that from our perspective, from the perspective of our faith, this war is unjustifiable, it's unholy, it is blasphemous. We need to make it very clear that those who try to justify this war in the name of the tradition go against this tradition. They distort this tradition completely. We need to make it clear. We need to proclaim it. We need to rebuke any justification of the war. And the most important thing, we do not have to be silent. We need to speak up. We need to condemn the war. We need to bring up moral, theological, any sorts of arguments against it. Then we will make our faith stronger. Then we will make our orthodoxy more orthodox.